Go, but and she's sweet. I like her. You
Yeah.
know, I know her and I like her.
Speeding? Who's speeding?
All right. Well, Kathleen, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at you, and your hair is coiffed and your makeup is perfect, and you're dry.
Yes, I know. Isn't that amazing?
I just wonder, you know, how long did it take you to get rid of the mildew?
Well, in Romancing the Stone, I do spend about 2/3 of the film wet, I think. But the nice thing about it is I'm not the only one. Michael Douglas and even Danny DeVito have to get soaked down too at 8 o'clock in the morning. So there was pleasure and misery, shared misery.
Did you have any idea going into the picture that it would be so physically difficult?
Well, certainly an indication was in the script. I mean, it was written down that we were going to do all those things. But you can't really anticipate what it's going to feel like and how tired you're going to get and how much fun it's going to be.
Well, now, see, you really have the right attitude for an actress because most people wouldn't think that, wouldn't look at it as much fun.
Well, I thought it was great fun.
Even sloshing about in the mud, and you did have to be in the jungle. That was not some backlot jungle.
No, that was the mountains and the jungles in Mexico. I'll tell you, it was such an adventure. I mean, the shooting of it was an adventure, not just the script and the film. And everyone was tremendously supportive. We had a wonderful crew, Mexican crew, and we had a great team, you know, of technicians and stuff. And you get to a point where, what are you going to do, really? I mean, are you just going to quit? You're in the middle of a jungle in Mexico, so you're just going to go on and try and make fun out of it.
It's the first role you've ever had where you really got to portray somebody with a sense of humor and in a comedic way, isn't it?
Well, in The Man with Two Brains, she was a comedic character, but she didn't know it. You know, she wasn't trying to be funny or nice or anything. In fact, she was awful. But I really loved and was attracted to Joan Wilder because she is a nice woman, and she has to cope and she has to change and grow up and gain confidence in herself, which I think we all do, you know. And it was a lovely kind of feeling doing her.
Is it a role you tested for along with other people, or were you just kind of selected?
I don't know if anyone else tested for it. Certainly, because of the previous roles I'd done, Michael Douglas, the producer, and Robert Zemeckis, the director, felt confident that I could handle the latter part of the character when she becomes much bolder. But they had doubts about my ability to portray the very small, repressed, insecure Joan. So what we did was have a kind of an on-camera improv where they gave me a living room set, and Michael read with me, and we just sort of wandered around the set trying to be the little Joan, you know, and they liked it.
Working in this film with all these physical things, did you sustain any injuries at all?
A few, yeah. We none of us emerged unscathed, as it were. There was a sort of landslide at one point where the rains had been very, very heavy. We were shooting up on a mountain road, and the funny part about it was that it was the very end of the day's shooting, and Bob Zemeckis called "Wrap!" and the mountain went "Wow!" And I really felt like saying, "Bob, you know, you don't have to be so emphatic." But they pulled us out, and we were a little scratched up, but nobody got too hurt.
Well, we do see some mudslides
in
the
truly
film.
there, yes.
And did they have to recreate those, or were those actual mudslides?
Well, no, they were actual mudslides, and people got we spent a lot of time covered with mud.
Do you look forward to going back to a jungle anytime soon?
No, I think I'm going to do a nice sort of on-set, in the studio sort of film next, I hope.
This, of course, is, I think, going to be compared, no way it can avoid being compared with Raiders of the Lost Ark. Does that upset you, or does that...
No, I think that the comparisons really perhaps serve a purpose in terms of allowing people to have an idea of what sort of film it might be. Actually, with Michael's involvement with this film, he's had this script for almost 5 years. So, of course, in fact, it predates Raiders. In conception and ideas. But I think that one of the unique things is we have an extraordinary relationship between the two lead characters, which to me is tremendously important, that I think makes this film very special.
I guess up till now, people associate you with body heat, don't they?
Mostly, yes.
Yeah. Do you think that things are going to change for you now with this?
Oh, I hope so. I mean, the idea of doing such different kinds of women in different sorts of films to make everybody guess.
Yeah. Well, Kathleen, you're just delightful in the
Well,
film,
thank you.
and it is so much fun. I know it's going to be a hit. I
Well,
just
thanks. I hope
feel
so.
that it will be. And thanks for coming to Dallas and visiting and talking with us.
Pleasure.
Good luck to you. Bye-bye. Very nice.
Do you want to continue rolling? Do you re-ask?
Yeah, only he should pause the tape, yeah.
Okay, stop
There.
tape.
Specialism I don't want. Jay, you might want to hire us up a little bit.
A little more? Okay, how's that?
A little more. That looks better.
All right.
Any more speed.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Kathleen, have you dried out since you finished the picture? Did you know going into this movie that there would be so many physical hardships? Going through everything you had to do in this movie, were there any injuries? How do you feel about the inevitable comparisons to Raiders of the Lost Ark? You've never really done a comedy role like this before, have you? Did you test for this role? Were you the only one considered for this role, or did you have to test along with others? Do most people still associate you with body heat? Okay, let me just check one. Okay, let me now just give you some reactions. That should do it. Thank you.
Sounds like somebody's taking a serious